live, right? On Facebook. Okay. Let's make sure this is working. Okay, thank you for your patience. I'm a few minutes late because, good news, I had another person join Visible Impact, so I was sending them a welcome video. That's what I'm here to talk to you about today. You've got 2 days left to join Visible Impact. So I'm going to share with you the top 10 reasons why women join the program, and feel free to let me know if you have any questions along the way. I think this is going to be super helpful to you, whether you join the program or not, right? The goal of Visible Impact is that for 6 weeks, you're getting wildly visible, not in a way that's really time consuming, but in a way that's really courageous. So whether or not you choose to join Visible Impact this round, I would encourage you either way to commit to 6 weeks of visibility. Now, should you want my support in doing that, I would love to help you. I'm going to share a little bit more about the program, but if you have any questions, your job is to, hi, thank you for saying hello, is to message me. That's your next step, right? If you're like, I resonate with the way Anna gets visible, the way Anna markets, I want to run my business, I want to make money online, but in a way that really fits with my heart. I want to sell in a way that is in integrity. Just message me, because this is a great time. I don't run this program for another 6 months, and it's a great time to get 6 weeks of my support at an amazing price. Okay, so let me share the 10 reasons. I'm going to dive in. One of the main reasons I see women commit to Visible Impact and or getting visible for 6 dang weeks is they want to start making money consistently, right? Maybe they have made some money, but there's a little bit of a feast and famine cycle going on. And they know in order to receive money back consistently in their business, they need to be consistently giving value out. And by the way, if you're joining me live, say hello. I would love to say hey to you. They know that, okay, I know in my head, right, and in my heart, that in order to consistently receive money in my business, I've got to show up consistently in my business. But how do I do that when I'm busy, or I've got a kid who's homesick, or I, have current clients that I'm serving, right? I've got to do my current client work. And so why I see women commit to Visible Impact is they want a way to get visible really consistently, keep their visibility consistent so that they can have the money coming in consistently too. What I said here too is they're busy caring for their current clients, family members, struggling to find time for their own marketing and business growth. How easy it is, especially when you have current clients, is it to prioritize your current clients even over your own marketing, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's so important that you show up for your current clients, but at the same time, right, we also have to make sure our own marketing doesn't suffer because of that. I am a huge fan of showing up big for your family and caring for your family members, right? But at the same time, we also have to make sure that we're caring for ourselves. And it sounds crazy, but I feel like some of the biggest self-care that's not talked about is not personal self-care, but business self-care, right? How are we caring for our business, right? How are we showing up for the marketing and sales in our business? That sort of self-care, right? So that our business is continually profiting, making money, and taking care of us. Usually when I hear women saying, I feel like I'm spinning my wheels online, right? I feel like I'm getting visible and there's no results, right? Usually it's because you're not receiving money back, right? I almost never hear from my clients that are consistently making money, oh, being visible is a waste of my time. My Facebook group is a waste of my time, right? Your visibility never feels like a waste of your time when you're receiving the money back, right? When you're feeling that financial support back. And one of the best ways you can do that, one of the best ways that you can, hey, so good to see you, happy Wednesday. One of the best ways you can consistently receive financial support back in your business is when you're consistently being visible, right? Every single dang week. And I know that that's hard to do on your own. And so that's the number one reason why you see women join Visible Impact. They want to make money consistently, right? And they want to figure out a way to be visible consistently while not making sure that the other parts of their life and business aren't suffering. Okay, second reason is because they want to save time, right? Hi, happy Wednesday. They are drained by the amount of content they think they need to create, right? I think we think if I were to be, Anna's saying Invisible Impact, she's going to help me be visible for 6 weeks, right? That feels overwhelming, right? I've got so much going on in my life, so much going on in my business, and I want to be consistent, right? I want to be consistent in, what was I going to say? They want to be consistent online with their visibility, but in their head, they feel like that means that I would have to spend 10 hours a week online to be consistent with their visibility. And I that's just not the case, right? In Visible Impact, I teach you how to, in 1 hour a week, to really create your content. And then in about 30 minutes more a week, actually connect online so that you're not just producing content, you're connecting and turning the visibility into clients for yourself. But it really doesn't take as much time as you're making it out to be. Right? And I think especially when we're stressed or when we're in a hard season, right? That visibility can be the first thing to go, because in our head, we make it to be this big beast. When what I have found time and time again is when I have my visibility done, when I have my visibility created in advance, right? Then it really gives me more time, and not just physical time, but breathing room. Right? It gives me the mental clarity and the mental space to be showing up. Okay, number 3 is they want to feel more confident posting online, right? So often I hear from people, and they don't really tell me this publicly, right? Someone would never like comment on a video and say this, but I hear my clients say this all the time, and women in Visible Impact. So if you've thought or felt this before, don't feel crazy, right? And they feel like they're a bad writer. They feel like they're a terrible writer. And so they feel like, I'm not that great at writing. I'm not as good as I see all the other women posting online with these beautiful social posts. So they either don't show up at all, and maybe you're watching this and you've never commented on any of my stuff, or maybe you've never posted in my Facebook group, right? Maybe you've never gotten visible, or it's been a while since you have, right? Because I think when we feel bad at something, we subconsciously procrastinate it, right? We subconsciously really put that off. We procrastinate. So if we really believe at our core, I'm a bad writer, right? Or I'm not that great of a writer, then tell me how hard it is going to be to make yourself right? It's going to be near impossible. And so I think what I see for women in Visible Impact time and time again is, as they write and as they read their writing and as they post it online and as they get traction and engagement and comments, they realize, oh wow, either one of two things. Either I'm not that bad of a writer, I'm not as bad of a writer as I thought I was, or maybe I'm not the perfect writer, but maybe my audience doesn't even care. Right? Maybe I'm not the best writer in the whole world, but maybe my audience doesn't need me to be the best writer in the world to connect with me, to vibe with me, to want to buy my stuff, right? So I don't know, maybe that sounds like a little untraditional, but I really feel like both are okay, right? Maybe you do own, I'm the freaking best writer in the world, right? I'm a great writer. But even if you don't, I'd rather you embrace the second belief, which is, you know what? I'm not the best writer, but my content still converts, because that's the point of visibility anyway, right? Is to get it out there, right? And to believe I don't need to be the best writer to share from my heart, right? Every once in a while, my content has a typo, right? But my content still converts, and that's because it's there, because it's out there and it exists. And that's the biggest thing I see for women, is procrastinating it or not writing at all. And then people can't, you have to have visibility, right? For people to see you and buy from you. Okay, that's number 3. Number 4 is, and thank you, Kelsey. Hi. Thank you for joining me if you're joining me from the Instillion too. Number 4 is they want to feel successful. And this sounds crazy, but often women come, right? And they either had a ton of success in their day job, right? Or recently, I talked to 2 women in the last week where they had a different business that they had a lot of success in. And now they were kind of in this second business, right? That feels like a little bit more aligned. And what I found is they were holding back from getting visible in many ways, right? Because they were nervous about believing, is it possible for me to have that success, to replicate the success I've already had, right? And so what I find in getting visible for 6 weeks, right, is you're really able to work on the belief, is it possible for me to have the success, have the money, have the clients that I had in the business or the venture I had before? Okay, number 5 is they want a business that fits their life and personality, right? I think often we think, yeah, I want to get visible, but what if I got visible, it actually worked, I got all this traction, right? Would I be able to keep up, and would that keep me from showing up for my kids, right? Would that keep me from showing up for my clients? And I think so often, right, it's okay to show up inspired in our content. It's just okay to show up every day. But if we don't get in the habit of writing a little bit in advance, and when I say advance, I just mean a week at a time, right? But when you're not doing that and creating content in advance, you're not giving yourself margin and breathing room to show up for your life, right? You're not giving yourself margin and freedom to create from a place of like relaxation and joy, right? And maybe that sounds weird, right? But when you're writing from a place of, oh, crumb, I don't have a social post today, I better pop one out, right? I'm not talking about like inspired pieces, those are always beautiful, but in general, writing your content in advance allows you to get out of that like flight or fight mode and puts you in a really powerful space where you're like, what do I want to share with my audience today, right? What does my audience need to hear, right? And worrying less about ourselves and worrying more about like, what does my audience need to hear from me right now, right? And when we do that, something powerful happens. And Katie B talked about this in her podcast interview that she did with me. Our personality comes out, right? When we're able to write in advance, right? We're able to create this business where our personality shines, right? Where we're feeling more relaxed, we're feeling more like ourselves. And I really feel like there's a lot of messaging in the online space that says that like your visibility has to be a certain way. And maybe it's not consciously, but I think subconsciously we get this message that in order to have success, it has to look like this, or you have to have this type of personality. Or even like, I hear my clients all the time say like, I'm nervous to show up on live video because of the way I look or the way I sound, right? And I think that's because we have this subconscious messaging that we have to look or sound or be a certain way to be visible the right way, right? But what I find for women that commit to 6 weeks of visibility, right? What happens over those 6 weeks is naturally you kind of just lose all of these hidden rules that tell you that your visibility has to look or feel or be a certain way when the reality is that it doesn't, right? And when you realize that and when you're like, oh, I just have to show up as me and that works, right? All of the frameworks that I've designed in Visible Impact are really to get you into your best self, right? Are really designed to support the way that you actually show up and connect as an authentic human online in your visibility, right? To bring you back to that. Okay. Number 6 is people invest in Visible Impact because they want a program that works, right? So many people come to Visible Impact, which is a live group container where you get lots of support from me, right? And they come from a course, right? Or something where there wasn't live support, right? And I think it's so important. I think it's great to learn new things. I think it's great to learn tips and strategies, and I am all about that. But I think more so than like learning new tips and tricks and just like here's the litmus test, right? Last webinar you were on, how much of that did you already know, right? Most of my people come to me and they're like, Anna, I could teach that webinar, right? Like I know my stuff. And so what that tells me is you don't just need another course, right? You don't just need more information, but you actually need support in making it happen, right? Getting visible for 6 weeks. Yes, I want to teach you and give you all my templates and all my content prompts, but I also want to be there with you so that when it gets hard, so that when you get discouraged, so that when you want to pull back, right, you're able to be nudged and you're able to show up solidly for 6 weeks, right? And so a lot of times people buy Visible Impact coming from another course because they realize I actually need the support, right? I don't just need more information. I actually need the support and the feedback and the live group coaching calls and the literally daily in our private Facebook group, I post something for you to respond to or engage with. Why? Because I know that's how it's going to get you results, right? Is by nudging you, by reminding you, by really holding your hand and supporting you every way on that step to success of getting visible and signing those next clients. Okay. Next one, number 8, they want a clear, doable plan to implement to get more results instead of, to get more clients. So what I just had someone ask me this question the other day. Okay, but does Visible Impact actually like tell us how to write content for social media? Yes, it does, right? Like literally I give you prompts. Literally I give you the charts, right? Literally I give you the worksheets, the training videos, the concept maps, right? And I think a lot of people are like, Anna, I just need the step-by-step, right? Oh, I love the post that I posted 2 days ago, I think now, that was asking you, when it comes to your visibility, do you struggle more with having not enough content ideas or too many? You know what everyone said? I think like 7 people answered. All 7 people said too many ideas. I have too many ideas. Isn't that crazy? And that's honestly the same thing for me. Too many ideas. And let me know if you're watching me live what it is for you. When you write Is it that you have too many ideas, or is that you have not enough ideas? And what I find too is often we have enough ideas. It's almost like too many that it's paralyzing, right? We have so much to say that we're like, how do we say this in a cohesive way that's actually going to make sense to my potential client and get them to buy, right? That's the question. And so one of the biggest gifts I think I give you in Visible Impact is for when we sit down, we do a 6-week content plan, like a, hold on for a second. Oh, right there. You're fine. Had to grab the keys. When we sit down and when we do a content plan, I really feel like the biggest gift I give to you is not giving you a ton of options, right? I do have a content workbook that probably has like 70 content prompts. I have like a chart that shows you, okay, for a 6-week content plan, what should you talk about when, and it's all lined out. But what I do so more than that is I actually, when we do our 6-week content plan, I only give you, hold on to your seat for a second. I only give you 6 content prompts. 6. Why is that? Because really at the end of the day, for 6 weeks of content, you just need to talk about 6 things. That's all, right? And I think so often the reason that our content plan gets convoluted, the reason that our content plan ends up not converting, right? And hear this, if you're showing up online and it's not turning into consistent sales for you, ask yourself, did I actually sit down and map out my 6 weeks and ensure that the 6 things I'm talking about for the next 6 weeks align with what I'm selling? Align with my goal, right? Does that make sense? And it's so important that you do that. And I think the reason people shy back from that is they say, oh my goodness, in order to do that, I have to figure out what 30 things, my 30 social posts for the next 6 weeks. And that's just not how it's done, right? What I really advise, if you're planning out the next 6 weeks of your content, and this is what we do in Visible Impact, is you just pick 6 things. 6 things to talk about over the next 6 weeks, 1 a week, right? And I teach you how to create 4 social posts each week based on that topic. But what I do is I say, okay, you guys, for week 1, here's your content prompt. Just 1 content prompt. Fill in the blank for me on that, right? It becomes so much simpler. Instead of like all the ideas, I have all the content ideas, what should I write about, right? It just comes down to like, okay, what's the one thing I want to talk about this week? What's the one thing I want to talk about the next week? And when I give you 6 content prompts, women are able to create a 6-week content plan in literally 15 or 20 minutes, and their minds are blown, right? And the cool thing about everything I teach you in Visible Impact is it's there to help you rinse and repeat, right? So that you're planning your 6 weeks of content now, but you're really able to do this moving forward, right? Okay, let's see. Next one is, which one did I cover? Clear, doable plan. Okay, the next one is they're ready to stop questioning. They're ready to stop questioning and spinning and second guessing 3 things: their message and their niche and their ideal client, right? When we're not visible online, I know that this was the case for me. I was continually questioning, oh, which business should I stick with? Which of my 2 offers should I stick with, right? Who really is my ideal client? Do I really have my dream clients following me, right? What's my message? And we definitely talk about that in the program, right? Week 4, I have a worksheet that helps you master your message. I think that's super important. But more so than that, what I think committing to getting visible for 6 weeks does, number 1, it gives you a ton of data, right? On what of your messaging, what of your content actually is resonating. And then also it helps you to start feeling certain. We go from questioning to certain, right? As you commit to, okay, Anna, first week, this is what we do. I commit to getting visible on this platform, right? I commit to getting visible with this in this one area, right? And as we stop spending the time, you guys probably right now don't realize how much time you're actually spending, how much emotional, mental energy on lack of clarity, right? Lack of deciding, this is the program I'm selling right now, right? This is the platform I'm showing up on, all those little decisions. Week 1, right? Week 1, week 2, we're making all of those micro decisions so that for the rest of the time, all of your energy can actually go into getting visible, which actually doesn't take that much time, right? What is taking you a ton of time is all of the energy and the stress and the perfectionism of making the right decision, right? So what I find that over those 6 weeks, women are really able to start feeling a lot more certainty, right? A lot more confidence, and just a lot more energy. Honestly, a lot more energy, because again, visibility becomes easy once we've simplified our content plan, right? Once we've simplified our business model, right? Once we've simplified where we're showing up, what we're selling, right? And I get that. I know you're hearing that and you're like, but Anna, that's so hard. I don't know which business to pick. I don't know which message to pick. I don't know which product to sell right now, right? And so I don't want you to do that alone. You don't have to make those decisions alone. I know for me, that when I was starting my business, the only way I was able to go all in for 6 weeks on my visibility was because I had my coach help me decide and be a tiebreaker for which platform should I pick, which offer should I focus on, which message should I narrow in on, right? So don't feel crazy. If you're feeling stuck between something, and feel free to let me know in the comments, right? Maybe even just with the heart, if there's something a decision you're feeling stuck on right now, right? And it feels so hard to pick that ideal client, right? To pick that message, to pick that offer, right? To pick that direction. It's okay to get support, but here's the thing. At some point you have to make a decision, right? So usually I say, okay, here's what I advise. Here's all the factors. You have 3 days to decide, because you've got to give yourself a deadline, right? That's the other beautiful thing about Visible Impact is there's a deadline. Every week you're creating your weekly content. And if you complete your content, then bing, you get a bonus, a content review by me, right? And the cool thing is, you guys, it sounds crazy, but how many times in school did we not complete something right till the deadline? That was me 100%, right? Sometimes we need that deadline to motivate ourselves to get it done, right? Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, so with the messaging, with the niching decision, with what am I selling decision, with for the next 6 weeks, should I show up on Instagram or Facebook, right? With all those decisions, you need a deadline so that at some point you can make the decision and then allow all your energy not into second guessing your decision, but actually getting visible for 6 weeks, right? And that's, again, where the visibility becomes easy. When you make all those decisions, and where it's finally feeling easy that you can just put all of your energy into the actual visibility, right? You're not having to decide every morning, where should I show up? Who should I serve? All that's already been decided for you. And the beautiful thing is, all my ENFPs are going to love this. It's not a forever decision. You're just asking yourself, for 6 weeks, what's my plan? What's my simple plan for 6 weeks? Can I go all in on it? And let me tell you, right? Even if, you didn't make the right decision, 6 weeks later, you're actually going to have the data to assess, right? You're actually going to have the data to say, I tried this platform. This is how it went, right? I went all in on selling this offer. This is how it went. I went all in on selling this group program, whatever it is for you, and having that data. But you're never going to have that data if you keep questioning yourself, right? If you don't decide, and that's what I want to support you on, is that deciding so that all of your energy for 6 weeks can go into easy visibility, right? And it sounds crazy, but that's the easy part. The easy part is the visibility. The hard part is the decision and the commitment, right? And the narrowing it down. But I'm telling you, when you do this, really know you're doing this as a favor to your audience too. The more decisions you can make, the simpler you can make your business, right? The easier it's going to be for your clients. And let me tell you how, right? If you decide for the next 6 weeks, all I'm doing is showing up in my Facebook group, it's going to be super easy for your audience to know, oh, if I follow Anna, if I want to tune into what she says, I'm going to head to her Facebook group, right? Same thing with our offer, right? If we're fiercely selling one thing, right? Our audience is going to know, okay, if I am picking up on what this person is talking about, I know what to buy, right? Let me just ask you this right now. Does your audience have clarity on what you're selling right now, right? Do they know without a shadow of doubt? And no, it does not count if you sent one email or did 2 social posts, but do they know without a shadow of a doubt what you're selling right now, right? And they're not going to know if you don't know, right? If we don't have that clarity first. And so that's why I feel like that clarity is the biggest gift you can give yourself in allowing yourself to get visible for 6 weeks, is get that clarity first. Okay, I ranted on that one a little bit, but I think it's so important. And honestly, probably was probably my biggest visibility block. In the first week of Visible Impact, we talk about visibility blocks, and that was probably my number one block, was feeling like I am unclear in my message, and I really don't want to pick my message because, well, number one, what if I niche down and leave people out? Number two, what if I pick the wrong message and waste my time? Were my biggest things. And so I was really stuck for months, right? But in some ways it was safer than like actually putting myself out there and getting visible. And like, what if people criticize my visibility, right? So I get that, right? I get that on the other side of making the decision. There's other like new level problems, but no, I'm here to support you in that, right? I'm here to support you in that. Okay. Next is they need qualified leads, right? They're finding like, I have an audience, I know that I need to grow my audience, right? And I really feel like written content is the best way I was just talking to someone this week too that was getting ready for Facebook ads, right? And we were talking about her messaging. And so often, right, people dive into Facebook ads before their messaging is even honed down, before they even know what's picking up with their organic audience, what's working, what's converting. Don't waste money on Facebook ads before you know organically what your audience needs and that it's converting, right? And so if you're in a season of whether you're working to sign a client for the first time or you're working to grow your audience with a lot of cold potential clients, I call them pre-clients, right? The best thing you can do for your potential clients, for people that have never worked with you before, that have never met you, is write a really great written post, right? Why do I think this is? Because I think there's something powerful, whether it's a Facebook ad or something someone's seeing in a Facebook group, right? In order to stop the scroll, I do think that written content is powerful. And so what was I going to say? In order to grow your audience, I think it's just an important skill to have, right? And yes, you can always copyright. Now I actually have someone on my team that helps me with my written content so that I can, turn my podcast into written content. But at the start of your business, I think it's so powerful that you're really mastering the skill of writing and connecting with your audience in that beautiful way. Okay. Let's see. I just want to answer a few FAQs that I have gotten about the program or that I thought maybe you were wondering about the program. But again, the cart closes tomorrow. The program starts next Monday, so we have a little time till the program starts. But if you have any questions for me, or if you're wondering if this is a fit, like if you have an inkling, now is a great time to just direct message me, to PM me, and to ask any questions that are on your heart about the program. Let's see. Okay, so one question that I get a lot is like, Anna, like, what actually are we learning in the program? I've been too busy. I haven't seen the sales page, right? So the premise of the program is that I'm helping you with your visibility, right? That I'm helping you get visible with written content on your social platform for 6 weeks and then repurposing from there. You guys know I'm a huge fan of repurposing, right? But really getting visible, committing to getting massive clarity on your message, all those things so that you can get visible for 6 weeks, right? That's the way that you're going to connect with clients. And people are asking, Anna, how long does this actually take? So the process that I teach you, if you do the 1 hour content writing workshop with me, is it takes 1 hour a week to get visible, right? 1 hour to write your content, and then 1 hour for our weekly group coaching call where you can ask me any questions that are on your heart. So really 2 hours a week is what I suggest that you commit to get the most out of the program. There's also training and worksheets that you'll have forever access to. When do we start? Our first group call is this next Tuesday, so a week from now. I'm just so excited. I love these group calls so much. And what I find too is that often you can bring all of your questions to the calls, of course, but what I hear women say is, Anna, I got so much value just from hearing you coach other women, right? I didn't even know that was a fear for me, but when that woman said that she was scared of XYZ on Facebook Live, I have that fear too, right? And so I think it's so helpful instead of just like, I love a good business book, right? But business books are really general. And I think the beautiful thing about a live coaching call is you're really in real time able to receive a lot of transformation and quick shifts, right? And that's why I think so many people sign clients in the program, because there's just something special about being in that container, right? And being in that energy and seeing other women growing alongside with you. Okay, didn't answer the question though. So the main question is, when are the calls? So the calls are on Tuesdays at 10 a.m. PST, but there's also a replay if you can't make it, if you're working or if you're in a different time zone. And then we also, so those are the coaching calls. And then we also have 2 writing workshops where I teach you how to write all of your content in 1 hour a week. And so we have 2 of those where I'm teaching you how to do it. We're actually writing our content together. It's a blast. It's my favorite. And then the goal is you're learning how to do that so you can do it moving forward. The reason we don't do content writing workshops every single week is I want you to master that skill on your own, right? I want you to get the courage and troubleshoot and say, okay, Anna, I did my 1 hour workshop on my own. This is what worked. This didn't work. Does that make sense? And by the way, as I'm going through these, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to drop them in the comments. And if you're watching the replay, I will answer them after. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and people say like, Anna, what if I'm busy right now? Everyone's busy right now. And in many ways, I designed this program for you, right? Someone that wants to get visible, wants to get results, right? Wants to learn the skill of writing a little bit in advance so that they can be consistently visible online, even if their life is super inconsistent, even if there's a lot going on, right? And I think too, we expect in order to be consistently visible online, we think we have to always be on. It's just not true, right? The women that I know, right, the clients that I see getting visible consistently, it's because they have learned to write a little bit in advance. Even if it's not a ton in advance, a week in advance. That way, no matter what happens in the week, no matter what happens in their life, right, they've already got their social posts planned and written, and they know that they're great converting posts. Okay, let's see. Our first group call, I said, is Tuesday. Writing workshops, I didn't say the time on that. Thursdays at 10 a.m. PST is the writing workshop. So coaching calls are on Tuesday, and then the writing workshops are on Thursday, where we're writing together in real time. And my favorite thing about this, you guys, is most of the time, and if you guys were in the free workshop I did earlier this month, you'll know this. If you're feeling good and if you're on fire and if you're writing, what I'll have you do is I'll have you mute me, right? So that you can go and write. But if you're feeling stuck, you turn up the volume, right? And then you can ask a coaching question, and I can support you right there in real time as you're feeling stuck in writing, as you're feeling like, oh, my writing is not good enough. I'm able to support you there in real time, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, people are asking, is this a good investment of my time and money? 100%. At the end of the day, I see for my clients the biggest game changer happen. Hi, Stenya. How are you doing? So fun to see you on here. The biggest game changer I see is finally going from like paralyzed to consistently visible, right? Biggest game changer I see. And so I feel like if you're not consistently visible online right now, this is a great investment in your business if you're looking to gain more traction, get more clients. And then another question I get a lot too is, I'm in another group program right now, or I'm working with another coach. What I would do if you're interested in visible impact and you're in another program, I would message me for sure, because I think that we don't want too much overlap. The last thing I want to do, if you're working with someone right now on your visibility plan and you're working on creating consistent content with them, the last thing we want is two strategies, because here's the thing. It sounds crazy, but there are multiple paths to success with visibility. In fact, in Visible Impact, this is what I teach you, right? To find your own way, to find your own path to success with visibility, something that complements your strengths, right? If you're an introvert, taking that into account, right? Really taking into account your personality, right? And so if you're already working with someone on your visibility, 100% don't do visible impact, right? But if you are not currently getting support specifically in the area of showing up consistently on your social media, getting visible in a way that converts to clients, let's chat, because I would love to support you with that. Okay, and the last thing that people ask me a lot is, I would love to do it right now, but I'm really busy and I'm just gonna wait till next time you run Visible Impact, right? I get this a lot. And beautiful, but here's the thing, right? In 6 months, right? Or when I run it again, January, February, I hope that you don't need Visible Impact. You know what I mean? Like, visibility is something in your business that ideally you don't always struggle with, right? Ideally, you figure out this system and this path to get visible, and then you move on to other problems, right? Like growing your team, right? And so what I encourage you, if visibility is a problem right now, I do think now is the perfect time to join Visible Impact. Like, I really did design it for you, right? The person that's feeling stuck, the person that's feeling blocked in showing up and getting clients, and, stuck in all the decisions and all the paralysis around that. So feel free to message me if you have any questions. You're the best. Positive light and structure. You're so sweet. Thank you. That is so kind of you to say. Okay, so I'm going to head out. But if you have any questions, feel free to either drop it in the comments below. If you have anything else that comes up, or if you're feeling the nudge to join, again, tomorrow is the cart close. So you have today and tomorrow to connect with me, to chat with me. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or comment, and I will get back to you on any questions you have. But know that it is my honor, it is my pleasure to extend this invitation to you. And I really feel like this program is going to make a huge difference for you. And if I don't believe that it will, when you message me, I will tell you directly. I will tell you if this program is not a fit. I'm happy to do that and send you to a resource that I do feel like is a fit. But if you're feeling the nudge to get my support, know that I would love to support you. Okay, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday.